Hey YouTube, it's your girl Chic from Chic Say What. I am coming on tonight. We need to talk about our girl Kelly Price. Where is she? Has she been found? Is it lies about her being found? Because according to her older sister, she still hasn't heard from her little sis. So we need to talk about it. You know, many of you, unless you've been under a rock, have heard that Kelly Price was, what do you say? She was claimed to have been missing as of, well, yesterday is when I heard about her being missing. But it seems like I'm hearing that she really was kind of missing prior to, but it just kind of started hitting the airways yesterday about her being missing. So I don't know if it's because of what sis looked like, her skin color, why it was delayed on why it was announced that she was missing. Because the little light colored, light white girl that was found, that was said missing, that's been all over everything. But needless to say, we're just now kind of hearing about Kelly Price being MIA. So just as quick as I was hearing about her being MIA, it was concluded that she had been found. So I'm like, okay. Wasn't much detail about, okay, where exactly she was found. It's just like, oh, sis has been found. So it was kind of strange, but I'm like, okay. So fast forward to today, I'm hearing that her sister is like, my sister ain't been found. I still don't know where my sister at. Y'all talking about y'all know where she at. I don't know where she is. Her children don't know where she is. Her grandbabies don't know where she is. Where is my sister? So that's what I want to get into tonight. And I have some articles to share. I came across a video where she had done an interview with a network called BNC News. So I'm gonna try to share my screen so you guys can kind of listen to what she had to say pertaining to her sister, the whereabouts of her sister, when the last time she spoke with her sister, all of that. So for starters, I'm gonna share my screen and show an article. Let me see. The one I want to probably show first is this article from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution that has claimed that she's been found. So let's get into that one first. Let me show you that one. Because as of last night, that's kind of where I left off at as far as the status of the situation with Kelly Price. So let me see. Let me try to share my screen with you guys so you can see. Okay. Because we need to talk about it, like, has she been found or has she not? Because like I said, an attorney, from what I'm understanding, or I think that's what their role is. They're the ones. Hey, my kiddo too. What's up? Listen, any of you joining, if you got any information to add, please share it. We need to talk about it. Kelly, I live in Atlanta, Georgia as well, in a neighboring town, the outskirts. I'm in Georgia, so I'm in Metro Atlanta, not in the actual city of Atlanta. And Kelly Price is a resident here as well. I've actually seen, when she was married, because she's divorced, like her neighborhood, her house, like it was just like literally legit up the street from me, my house, my family's house, like. So it's a very kind of close kind of type story just from a geographical location, because she lives where I live. Like this is was legit up the street, y'all. I drive past her house and just see her house, kids playing outside, all of that. So I want to just talk about it because if she's still missing, the people need to know, we don't want somebody coming out saying, oh, she been found just for the sake of killing a story to as a means to deflect, because I didn't know. And maybe some of you can, say, what you knew. I didn't know that she had, caught the virus. We'll call it that, the C word. I didn't know that. So after learning about her being MIA, I seen like this video where she had posted talking about just, I guess, the struggles as she's been trying to work through, the recovery process. So I'm like, okay, so I just felt like I was just kind of being hit with a lot at one time pertaining to Kelly Price. So I'm like, okay, so I was just, trying to absorb it all. Like, okay, wait a minute now. She was missing. Then she had that. She was sick. Like, wait a minute. Like, I didn't even know sis was sick. So let me just go back to that article that I said I was going to share. This article right here, the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. We're going to get into this article. Update. Reps say singer Kelly Price is safe despite missing person report. Excuse me. Representatives for well-known gospel and R&B singer Kelly Price say that she is safe despite missing persons report filed in Cobb County. Price was reported missing after she was discharged from the hospital where she was being treated for the 19. Officials confirmed Friday. According to reports from TMZ, her representatives claim that she is not missing and is safely recovering from her hospital stay in private. Cobb police have not confirmed that her missing person investigation has been closed. Excuse me. The chart-topping singer and Metro Atlanta resident has not been seen since police performed a welfare check at her home Saturday, September 18th. Cobb police confirmed to the Atlanta Journal-Constitution that Price has been reported missing, but did not provide any additional details. Price, 48, announced that she was sick with the 19 on her Instagram on July 29th and has not posted again since. At the time, she said she was not in the hospital. Price's family said she was admitted to the hospital about a week after she made the post, TMZ reported. Price's grandfather, Jerome Norman Jr., the former pastor of the Full Gospel Mission Church of God in Christ in Queens, New York, died of the 19 April 2020. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution previously reported 6 months later her mother, Claudia Price North, the former musical director at the church that primed Price's singer career, died unexpectedly. So with that being said, let me read what you're saying. My kiddo too, you said maybe she's not doing well. I heard she was transferred to another facility. She was released too soon from the hospital. Listen, like, that's an idea. But what's alarming to me is that the person that's supposed to be closest to her is saying, yo, I still haven't heard from my sister. I'm going to share an article that I found where she was speaking out. And like I said, I came across like a video interview. So it's not connecting to me just for the fact that, okay, some non-family is saying, oh, she good. But though the family like, okay, where? Like, I ain't heard from her. Her sister is claiming that they haven't heard from her or seen her not since like August 13th. So let me go ahead and just share some other information that I found. Let me see, because it's a couple of things I want to show you all. Okay, so let me share this article right here. Hopefully I can share the video and won't get any type of copyright issues, y'all. So let me just share right here this article. Excuse me. So this is from Revolt TV. Kelly Price's sister disputes attorney's claims that she's safe and not missing. So this was September 25th at 1:30 p.m. So that's today. So let's see what her sister is having to say. So Shan Ray, let me see. Kelly Price's older sister, Shan Ray Price, is disputing reports that she has been found after her attorney released a statement Friday, September 24th. Shan Ray called into the Digital Larry Reed live show and said, I'm just asking everybody to pray. I understand an attorney has stated that my sister is okay. We don't know anything until we physically see her. That part, who wouldn't feel that way? Like, some random person talk about, oh, she good, she been found. Where? Like where? So she goes on to say, my sister is a very visible person. She continued, we haven't heard anything from her in months. She was sick with the C, and this is unlike her. No one has heard from her. I know everyone has their own opinions. I don't do stuff like this, but I do want to call in. Until we physically see my sister, we don't know anything. I'm just asking people, please pray, okay? Because she has 2 children and it's just she and I. We lost our mother. We lost our sister 6 years prior. It's just she and I. So it then says, yesterday on September 24th, TMZ reported that Kelly's attorney, Monica Ewing, who is Monica, confirmed her whereabouts. Ewing reportedly said the friend of mine singer was not missing and is still battling the 19 at an undisclosed area. The outlet was also one of the first to report that she went missing in Georgia following a stint in the hospital. We're told Kelly's legal rep reached out to Cobb County Police to notify law enforcement Kelly is accounted for, even though she's now listed as missing with the National Crime Information Center, the outlet originally stated. What it says, in a separate interview with the Black News Channel, Shen Ray stated, the last time my niece and nephew saw her was the 13th of August. My sister's children are young. I know that they're confused and I know that they're upset. I know that they're scared. I'm feeling the same way. Just please, Kelly, if you're okay, please just show up. Go to the cops, do something, but we have to see you physically. Revolt has reached out to Kelly Price and her team for a comment on the matter and will update this article with any responses we receive. So it looks like this is a tweet. Kelly Price's sister disputes attorney statement that Kelly is safe and sound. I have not seen my sister in months. Until we physically see my sister, we don't know anything. Who can argue with that? Like that's a normal, response to have when you got a missing loved one. Like, okay, who is this attorney? I don't blame them. Like, I ain't seen my sister. Her kids ain't seen. The kids ain't seen their mama. The grandbabies ain't seen their grandmama. Where is Kelly Price? My kiddo too said the boyfriend is not allowing the sister to visit or get in touch with her. So I was hearing that this boyfriend of hers, and I started researching last night because when I was learning that, because the family was saying the boyfriend, ever since she kind of hooked up with him, she had, sometimes you get in relationships and you hear about like the other person. Typically it's like a man that's kind of keeping the woman away from her family. Y'all know that part, like the classic, like signs of abuse type situation where you in this new relationship and the person's kind of keeping you away from your family and loved ones. Well, that's basically what the family was kind of putting out there about this dude. So I started kind of researching because I hadn't heard Kelly Price's name. She did like an interview at Breakfast Club maybe about 4 months ago. So that was the last time I seen or heard about Kelly Price. So clearly that was before she came down, she got sick, but she sounded well. She looked well. But they were like, this new dude that she's with, he's kind of had been keeping her away from the family. And in my research for this video tonight, I learned that, okay, when the authorities, whoever went to the boyfriend's house, because they didn't say Kelly's house, I don't know if they lived together, but they were like, when they went to the boyfriend's house, he wasn't really all that cooperative. Like he wasn't all that helpful, even though I've also heard that, okay, he's not no perfect person of interest or anything, but they was like, he also kind of wasn't warm and fuzzy either. So, how that goes. So I started kind of looking and, surfing her Instagram page to try to find some pictures of who this dude could be. And we probably can go to her Instagram page to try to look at her pictures, but it took a long time for me to keep scrolling to finally see her booed up with somebody. And I want to say the picture went back to like 2020. And it was this guy. He looked to me, kind of looked like he was younger than her. So I'm like, okay, is this the dude that she's supposed to be linked up with? But like I said, most of the pictures on her social media, on her Instagram at least, was like her by herself. It wasn't like I didn't get a lot out of like the pictures as far as with her personal life, as far as from a relationship standpoint. She really didn't even have a lot of pictures, even for the family, as far as with her kids, because I researched her and learned that her kids are adults. Her youngest is maybe about like 26, and she has like 3 grandbabies. I seen a beautiful picture of one of the grandbabies, a little girl. I think her name was Charlie. So I'm like, okay. So like I said, Kelly kind of have been low key for a minute. So last night it was like me trying to kind of get caught up on what's been going on in Kelly's world. So, but I felt good that, okay, she's back. She's taking care of herself. So now today, and me learning that her sister's like, no, ma'am, it ain't all good. We still have not laid eyes on her. So until then, we need to keep this missing person report, this file, we need to keep it open. My kiddo said this is all suspicious activity. Yes, I mean, anything is, to me, anything pertaining to this whole 19 situation, the whole jab situation, like all of it has just created, it's almost like this crazy Netflix horror movie, like all these twists and turns to where when crazy things has happened, that's been a part of the whole plot. Like, oh, well, this person was sick. Like, it's just like, there's all these connections. It's just kind of, as they say, spooky, like with how this crazy, unexplained stuff that has been happening. And then, but then you could also say the 19 in the same breath pertaining to the story. Like, am I the only one that's noticing that? My kiddo too said, why doesn't the attorney let the sister be in contact with her as well as her children? Right. Like, if sis is okay, phone a friend. Like, it's not normal. And given with how the sister talks about how close knit they are of a family, it doesn't make sense why Kelly hadn't at least sent a text, made a phone call to her family. Like, they're saying August 13th, they haven't seen her. Like, let me try to see. Okay, I'm gonna get through these comments, but I'm gonna try to see if I can try to share that video that I seen so you guys can see the sister and what she's looking like. Kareen, not Karen, says, so strange that our kids have not seen her. Right. Right. Kareen says, your children, though, maybe her sister, but her 2 children, are they still young, early 20s? Yeah, the kids are young. When I started researching last night, I came across an article that was, I think, dated 2020 at the time. Her youngest was 25 then. So, and then I learned that she has 3 grandchildren. So they're young. I mean, her kids aren't super young. I mean, they're grown, but she got grandkids. So, I mean, it doesn't make sense. And like I said, I came across one pic where she had posted of her grandbaby, Charlie. I want to say her name was Charlie. She looked like she was maybe 2, little beautiful baby. So for her to be checked out of the hospital, somewhere posted up, I'm going to say knowing, or even, you would expect knowing that people are going to be concerned, and you not say nothing, make it make sense. It's not making sense to me, y'all. I'm sorry. This dude seems like a Brian, a laundry. Yeah, like, listen, y'all. Come on now. Let me try to share my screen, and I'm going to show, excuse me, this interview that she did. So you guys can see that. So let me, give me a minute. I'm going to show my screen so y'all can see this. And this is from the news network, BNC. So let me share my screen so you guys can see this. And you guys can, I want you guys to see the sister. Okay. Okay. So we about to get into it. Okay.
For joining us, ma'am.
Okay.
Where's your head at? Where's your heart at right now? And how is your family doing?
Frantic. We're frantic. We have not heard from my sister in well over a month. Well over a month. The last time my niece and nephew saw her was when she was in ICU, and that was the 13th of August.
Take your time. Take your time.
You know, this is just a lot. It's just my sister and I. We lost our mom last October. We lost our youngest sister 6 years before that.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop it here and there because I don't want like any issues dealing with the copyright or whatever. So I'll be going back and forth to it. But as you're able to see, this is a real sister who's showing concern. She's talking about that they've already, lost a loved one. Their mom, their sister. Does it make sense that, and all of this was like fairly recently. So does it make sense that Kelly wouldn't have made herself available to communicate with her family? Like, I haven't even heard any comments where the daggone boyfriend of saying, well, I talked to her. So where is she? Because she ain't over there posted up with him. So she's just at some random place trying to get her mind right, recovering, doing whatever. The boyfriend ain't around and her sister ain't around. Her kids ain't around, grandbabies around. Who is she with? This attorney who's speaking out? Who is Kelly with? Ain't nobody else seen her. Ain't nobody else heard from her. Where is she? Remember, mama gone, daddy gone, the other sister gone. Who else is left for Kelly to be posted up with, y'all? Like, think about it. So let me go back to sharing my screen. I'm just trying to, like I said, I want to copyright issues, so I'm just kind of breaking it up. All right.
We lost our grandparents between last year and this year. We're a small family, and I am considered the matriarch of the family right now. My nephew and niece, they're young. My sister's children are young, and I know that they're confused, and I know that they're upset, and I know that they're scared, and I'm feeling the same way. That's my younger sister. Mm-hmm. My sisters, I don't know. Just please, Kelly, if you okay, I mean, please just show up. Go to the cops, do something. But we have to see you physically. If somebody knows something, please help us find my sister. That's it. It's just she.
She said, Kelly, phone a friend, call the cops. We looking for you. Y'all think, what is the chances that Kelly don't know that her family is concerned about what's going on with her? Kelly ain't no fool. We've been following this woman her whole career. Anybody that's older, if you at least 30, 35, like you're very familiar with Kelly Price. This is a woman, like she's not a fool. Like, she got common sense. She's gonna know, okay, my peeps, they looking for me. Let me let them know I'm good. And it's not normal that somebody just, after coming off of her being in this hospital and not feeling well and with the virus, like, to be checking out by herself, like, that don't even make sense right there for her to just be leaving on her own. Like, that, it seems like there would have been somebody else, another family member, that would have known that, okay, she's getting checked out today. Because the sister was like, the kids last seen her, well, I think when she was in ICU or something around August 13th. So who coming out of ICU and then checking themselves out of hospital and just going about their merry way when you got a support system? It doesn't make sense. My kiddo too said, I don't think Kelly is doing well. But clearly sis ain't doing well. Somebody is hiding something. And like I said, ever since this whole 19 situation, stuff has been real spooky out here, really suspect. We don't even talk about the jab and the people who have gotten that. But though in the next breath, it's still highly encouraged for you to go out and get it. even though we've seen people dropping like flies who still had it. I don't know what Kelly's situation was pertaining to, if she was, jabbed up or not. I hadn't heard that spoke on, but it wouldn't be hard for me to believe that she was, because the way it's being pushed so hard out there in these streets, it's almost like if you not on the side of being in support of it or having it, it's like the energy is just like negative energy towards you. So I'm just trying to make sense of it. That's why I want to come out here. Let me get back to the interview, guys, so we can try to get through it. It's not a long interview. I just got to keep stopping it so we don't have no problems. We want to make sure if you guys are on here, please like, share, subscribe. Thank you for my new subs. But I'm just trying to get this out, because we need to keep an eye out still on the look for her, because I'm more inclined to believe the sister that Kelly is still out there like missing. So until I hear that the family say otherwise, she's still missing to me.
It's just she and I.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Tell people what kind of person your sister is. You grew up with her, your whole life, before the bright lights, before all the money and the fame. What is your sister like?
She's crazy. She's just fun loving. She's just crazy. Somebody you would love to be around, have you cracking up all the time. We grew up having humor in singing, so we'll sing anything and make anything sound crazy. That's what she does. She, just fun loving. She loves people. But she got COVID, and then she was hospitalized, and then we heard third party that she was no longer in the hospital, and that's it. None of the family, we haven't heard anything from her at all.
How you hearing third party that your loved one got discharged from the hospital when sis was literally legit laid up in a hospital, connected to machines, fighting, trying to keep it going, to stay with us, and the family not knowing that she was released from the hospital? Like, I haven't learned yet when they actually came to know that she got released from the hospital. I don't even know what her release date was, because like I said, we read she's gonna, I don't know if she said it just yet. The family, the kids, they haven't seen her since like August 13th. So today is September 25th. Somebody need to speak on it. Like, did she sign some release papers? Like, where is the camera footage? Like, this need to be the way they looking for that little white girl and how they was looking for her, and they looking for that little white man behind. We need that same energy for Kelly. Period. Like, we need that same energy. Something is not right. Something is not right, and it needs to be talked about. And I'm a much smaller YouTuber, but I'm hoping that over time, going in, through this weekend, there's going to be people, larger YouTubers. Hell, Tasha K, you be in everybody else's business. What is the tea? Where is this woman? Somebody ain't listen. I'm gonna need for them to be picking up their phones, trying to figure out what the deal, what's going on, because it's not sitting right with me. Something's not right. And I know I can't be the only one looking at this from the side eye, like, what the heck? Like, I can't be. And you all who've been commenting, like, listen, this ain't right. So let me just go back to this interview. Let me go back. Let's bring our interview back up.
And I mean, I just panicked, and I went on Saturday to her residence, called the police. We did a well check. We were in front of her home for a couple of hours. Nothing. We didn't see her. We haven't heard anything. We don't know where my sister is.
Mm-hmm. Take deep breaths. Take deep breaths. We are here with you, and this is all going to be okay. Just real quick, what is your message to the rest of America? The rest of America about how they can help get the message out?
you know something, please. And right now we can't just take texts or messages. We have to be able to physically see my sister. Mm-hmm. I have to see her, make sure she's okay. Mm-hmm.
No.
Exactly. She says she needs to see her sister. She got to make sure that she's okay. Like, who wouldn't feel that way? Who would not feel that way? Like, think about it. Your loved one go missing. Some random person who's not part of the family. You don't know who they are. I don't even know if they even know this attorney. Say, oh, she good, but you ain't saying where exactly she is, and I still can't reach them. Like, that's supposed to make me be like, oh, okay, I can exhale now. No. My kiddo 2 says they need to contact Mark Class and John Watt. Listen, they need to call somebody. They need to call somebody quick, fast, and in a hurry. And like I said, I started, researching this tonight. I haven't seen any big names just quite yet as far as from a YouTube level, like really talking about it just yet. I know it's still early, excuse me, but I hope that a lot of, with these larger YouTubers who have the connects and talk to people in the industry, I hope that they come out and just, and put a word on it. Because you can't, she could have her go missing 30 minutes later. Oh no, we found, like, is this a PR stunt that you're trying to, y'all remember that girl last year back when, it was a big thing. It was like this nurse back when the jab and they first started having people, I guess, with the medical team been able to get it first. And it was a nurse, y'all. And they said that she had passed out on camera. You guys might have seen it. And I watched it. She had passed out. And after that, it was this big thing on if she survived. Where is she? And when I would go to her Instagram, the pictures was all old pictures, like prior to that day in like December when she had gotten the jab. But we never seen or heard from that woman again. Then you started seeing these pictures put out and stuff that was supposed to be her. And for many people, it looked like a completely different woman, like a taller woman. Like, it just looked different. But it was this whole thing to kind of to deflect on like what really happened to the lady. So because you had a lot of people who believe, sis, she didn't make it. I think she was from Alabama or somewhere. She didn't make it. But with the news, it's like she never came out and spoke on it. So if you got this big case and everybody's talking about you and thinking that you're no longer with us, why wouldn't you just want to come out and clear that up? Be like, yo, hey, I'm right here. Like, make it make sense. It doesn't make sense. A lot of this stuff, guys, it's just basic knowledge, common sense. Like, it ain't rocket science. It's just somebody using their brain and just thinking beyond what somebody just told them, but just connecting the lines. So my kiddo 2 said, what happened to all these entertainers? Exactly. They just be silent. Like, they just get silent. Like with the whole stuff even with like Nicki Minaj, when she spoke out, said, like, you ain't hearing nobody. Like, people would just be legit silent. Like, and that's another part that makes it spooky when people just suddenly, they just get silent on certain topics. Like, it's almost like taboo. Oh, we can't talk about that. We can't talk about that. My kiddo 2 said, I remember hearing about that. Yes, that was just crazy. Where is that woman? Did anybody ever see that woman? It was a whole white girl. Y'all, like, she was maybe looked like I don't know, maybe about 27 to 30, young girl. We never seen that girl. She never came out and spoke out to be like, yo, y'all think I'm good, I'm fine. Like, that would be the natural, normal thing that I would feel like somebody would do, especially if people thinking that you're not good, something happened to you. You're going to be like, no, I'm cool, I'm good. I can't remember that young lady's name to go find her. So I would have to kind of research the story because I wasn't doing videos during that period in that time. So I didn't do like a video or nothing on that. But I remember it was just like this thing because everybody was like stalking her Instagram, trying to figure out if she was good. Because we watched sis pass out on camera. And then it was like, whatever happened to her? And that was at the time where it was heavily pushed because the jab was just coming on the scene. So it was heavily pushed for people to get it. So the last thing the mainstream media need to have people feeling is fear that, oh snap, this ain't it. This ain't it. But we never seen this woman come out to speak out to say, hey, I'm good. It was just like people moved on. I actually haven't even thought about that case in several months. This is just what's making me think about it. It's just bringing this, the memory is just coming back to me. So let me go back to this interview to try to get through it, y'all. Because it's not, this may be like a minute more left. So we'll wrap it up.
More words need to be
frantic.
said.
I am frantic. Mm-hmm. We're all we have. I am frantic. I want to thank Nikki. Nikki has been so instrumental, with everyone being concerned. And Nikki reached out to me. I contacted Gabby, my sister's former manager. Thank you, Vaughn. Vaughn, we've all been we just trying to find my sister. I need to make sure my sister's okay. Mm-hmm. That's it. It's just she and I. Mm-hmm. I need to make sure my sister is okay. We need to lay eyes on her. We need to make sure she's okay.
And that is going to happen. We are going to speak it into existence once again. So, thank you so very much for your time and for showing us your hearts and filling us in on who Kelly Price actually is. And we have been speaking to her sister, Sean-Rae Cherie Price, and her friend, Nikki Gilbert Daniels. You heard how you can be of service. Ladies, thoughts and prayers to you and your family. Thank you so much.
Wow, I didn't even recognize them.
They were so big. They were so loud.
They use their money to help fund artists.
A legacy.
Yeah, okay. I didn't even recognize that was Nikki Gilbert. I hadn't seen her probably since when they did that there was the reality show. What was that? Is that R&B Divas or something that Nikki was on? So is she from, what group is she? Is that Brownstone? Nikki Gilbert was from? But I didn't even recognize her with the gray streak. I didn't know who that woman was. So, but yes, like, was she a nurse? Yes, she was a nurse. You remember? She was a nurse. I'm going to go ahead, y'all. Hold on. I'm going to bring up Kelly Price's Instagram page. Like I said, last night I was looking on her page because when they start talking about a boyfriend, I'm like, who is this man? I want to see what he looked like. You know how you want to lay eyes on somebody, to try to see what kind of feel you get for them. So I since the family was kind of side-eyed, they just said he just wasn't, somebody that they was feeling. So I'm gonna share my screen so you guys can see her Instagram page too. So this is Kelly's Instagram, 950,000 followers on Instagram. Looks like this is the last video she posted. Let me see what she say.
Hello, good evening, everybody. I am doing probably one of the last things that I would have expected to be doing right now. Wasn't feeling so well last night and got up this morning and went to the doctor and got checked out, went to a testing center, and it has come back that I have COVID. After a very long year and a half of so much stuff with this disease, I am COVID positive. And so I am quarantined right now. I do not have to go into the hospital. I'm very achy. I have no appetite. I'm very weak. I can barely stay awake. And so I am following doctor's orders and praying that this thing passes quickly so that I can get back to normal. I just, whatever normal is now, I just wanted to put it out there. So I won't be in New Orleans this weekend, and praying that this passes quickly enough so that my August dates are not affected. So I am in the house. I am taking care of myself. I'm using some old school remedies as well. I smell like a whole bottle of Vicks, trying to open up my breathing passages and doing my best to stay in control of my breathing as much as possible. I'm gonna say, if you can bombard heaven on my behalf, I would appreciate it. I'm gonna be praying for myself at the same time. I just wanted you all to know that this is crazy. Yeah, take care. Continue to take care. Be safe. Continue to mask up. Continue to shield up. This is something like we've never seen before. But I just wanted to let you know, because I know that there are people who are looking forward to seeing me not only this weekend, but in the coming weeks. I'm praying sincerely and fervently that this is something that God will allow to be something that passes through my system quickly, so that I am still able to honor my requests during the month of August and moving forward. Thank you guys for your love and for your support. That's it. I don't have anything else to say. It's the last thing I ever expected that I would be saying to any of you. But I do appreciate you. God is a healer, and there is no name greater than Jesus, even COVID-19. COVID-19's name is not greater than God's name. It's not greater than Jehovah. It's not greater than Jesus. So as I pray, I ask that you pray as well. I love you guys. Take care.
Let me see. Okay, so let me see. Something kind of funny happened with my StreamYard, but listen, that's a lot. I mean, I hadn't even seen that video that was posted July 29th. I hadn't even seen that video until yesterday when I was, learning about her being MIA and all of that. So as you heard, like she talked about, she has some shows coming up. So again, this doesn't sound like somebody who would be not concerned about her fans and her people, because she was literally like sitting up there like sick and concerned about disappointing her fans, her supporters, with not possibly being able to meet obligations, as far as I'm guessing, with singing and things like that. So for her to not meet those obligations and not speak on it, like, it doesn't make sense, y'all. What do you think? Reg Rose, hello. You said hopefully she's not a sacrifice for the upcoming October. Hollywood sacrifice season is a demonic Hollywood. I've heard about stuff like that. I don't know. Like I said, everything has just been, these have definitely been spooky times. From my knowledge, like what you're saying, this is like a time of the year where just crazy things take place, but it don't sound right. Like, she knew that people were expecting to be seeing her, and her not being able to see them, that's a whole nother. Yeah, she can't control, she's sick. I get that. But the part about her not reaching out and saying, hey, this is what's going on, I can't do, like, that's the part that don't make sense to me. Because as we just saw, this was a woman who was concerned about disappointing people. Like, while she's sitting there struggling, like trying to stay strong, she's concerned about disappointing people. So let me see if I can share my screen again and go back to her Instagram, because like I said, there was this man that they were saying that she's been dating, and the family of, find him to be suspect. So, last night I was just scrolling through her Instagram trying to see if I can decide, okay, so look at this. I'm guessing this may be him. When all else fails, he got me. Who is this? That's the man that I seen in another picture, but I think that picture, so this was July 5th. So this was like before she got sick. Like, she got a ring on her finger. Is she engaged? So let me find that other picture that I saw of him where he doesn't really, I don't know. It's like he's hidden, because the other picture that I found of him, he had glasses on. So it's like, okay, what's the deal? Like on some sneak tip stuff where, you can't really see the person's eyes. What they say, the eyes is the key to the soul. But it took a minute to get to that picture, because I kept going, because I didn't even see that picture, guys, that I just saw last night. I must have overlooked that one. I saw this other picture that was probably, I think it was from 2020. She might have been in Miami. So I'm trying to show that one, because you can get a better look of the guy's face. I didn't recognize him. To me, he looks young in the face, younger than her, but she has a baby face. She looks really young. So I think Kelly's maybe about 48. I think she's maybe she's in her 40s. Can't remember exactly how old she is. But this guy, he seemed like a younger guy. You know how that go. The women, they want the young man. And, the family was like, he had control over her where he would kind of keep her away. So I didn't like the sound of that, but I'm like, okay, well, let me try to see who is this guy that's got her so open. Let me see, what date is this picture? Because I remember it was like 2020. So I want to see what year I'm in with these pictures. So this is 2020. That's a nice picture of her. So I think it was like early February, probably like right before the whole pandemic, when she had that picture with this guy. And it didn't say his name like these pictures. I showed you guys the first one, but the one I'm looking for, it doesn't say his name on any of these pictures. But we should be getting to it soon, because I want to say it was 2020 that she had this picture with this man. And I just want y'all to see what I saw. Y'all let me know what you think. She got a lot of pictures, but most of her pictures, it's just her by herself. She don't really show a lot pertaining to like her personal life, probably, out of privacy, which is understandable. So we're just going down and down. Come on. Let me see, where are we at now? Let me see, what date was this one? It's moving slow. Come on. I don't know what's going on. Okay. Come on, where is that picture? I know I saw it on here yesterday, but it was her and the guy, and he had like some glasses on, and he was standing behind her. If we don't come across it, you guys can probably go to her page to see if you I think this is one of the grandbabies right here. Singer-Kai. So that was March 2020. So we might be coming up because I think it was maybe like February when that picture that I'm thinking of when I saw that picture. Are we still on her page? Okay, yeah. I'm like, who are these other people I'm now suddenly seeing? Okay. Let's see. Hopefully we coming up on it soon. Is that Wale? Is that who that was? I know I saw that picture on here. I might not be able to find it. Of course, you know how that go when you're looking for something for somebody. You don't ever find it. But when you just by yourself, you come across all kinds of mess. So let me see. When was this picture right here? So we're in 19. So I don't know. This picture, I'm not seeing it, but you guys can probably go through her Instagram, but just go through them. There was a picture of her and a man that was kind of like, you know, I thought it was like early 2020, but he had glasses on. He kind of looked young, but when I did like a Google search, Kelly Price boyfriend, like I didn't get anything that come up. So I don't really know like who this guy is that she's seeing. I'm not seeing pictures of him like in the articles. I am not even seeing anything referencing his name for us to know, you know, to kind of research who he is from that angle. But the family's not feeling him. And to me, another thing that kind of makes it all suspect is if this is your woman and you ain't seen her, why you ain't speaking on it? Why you not talking about it? Like, it doesn't make sense that you quiet, that you not doing some interviews like, yo, like my woman is like missing. Have y'all seen her? My kiddo too said, what is the boyfriend and an attorney hiding? Right. Like that part, like something, y'all, like something's not right. Karen says, damn, hopefully not. Reg Rose says, I really feel bad for successful Black women that hold on to this idea of being married to a Black man so bad and end up getting with a clout chasing user. Listen, that man, like, it doesn't make sense. You got the sister on here talking, saying she doing stuff she normally don't do. And I had never even seen Kelly Price's sister before. So clearly, like she said, she ain't one that's like her sister in the limelight. So for her to be like up here on platforms speaking on it, stepping out of her element, her comfort zone, she's like, yo, I got to do what I got to do to get this out here that my sister is still missing. So if I got to go on a doggone tour myself, then that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. So why is she doing all that? But the boyfriend, he's silent. My kiddo says, now it has been reported that she secretly got married to Brian Laundrie. Who is Brian Laundrie? So is that the guy that I showed the picture of? Let me look that up because that's a new name for me. Brian Laundrie. Brian Laundrie, when I pull him up, some white man. Let me see. Let me check the name. You said Brian Laundrie, Laundrie. Why is this coming? Let me show y'all my screen. When I put in Brian Laundrie, what's coming up on my screen? Because I'm like, okay, share my screen. Let me see. Is this who you talking about? Like, this is who will coming up when I type in the name Brian Laundrie. Y'all remember him? The dog from the Bounty Hunter? Is that who they sent? Like, or is there a different or is there a Black Brian Laundrie? Who is Brian Laundrie? My kiddo, like, yeah, if you can tell me, like, who is he? Because that's who comes up when I type in the name Brian Laundrie. Do you got to put 2.0 at the end? You said 2.0. Let me put in 2.0. Let me see if a different person come up. Okay. So let's go to images. Okay, so you're talking about with the Gabby. I guess your comment is pertaining to the Gabby Petito story. That guy. Okay, so you talking about the Gabby story. Okay, I was confused. Like, wait a doggone minute. So Reg Rose said Brian Laundrie is the BF for Gabby Petito, the white girl that was missing. Yes, thank you, Reg. I was confused. Listen, we got 2 missing cases. Well, I need our sister to get the same energy as Gabby. That part, like we need that same energy as. Like legit, y'all, I didn't even know Gabby was a whole thing until like my sister had sent me a text with this video where somebody had drove by this van or something that was on the side of the road, and he was showing how it looked like the door was closing, and I guess it was pertaining to investigation. I'm like, okay, for her to be, because she be heavy into like stuff that's going on in like these streets dealing with just high profile stuff, celebrity stuff, like she be in the mix. So I'm like, okay, for her to be sending me this must be a big story, because she didn't have no context to it. She just sent this video of somebody recording. I don't know if you guys seen this video where the family, I guess they was on vacation. They drove by and they just seen this sitting vehicle, and they were showing that it looks like as they were driving up, approaching it, the door of it was closing. But though as they drove past it, when you look through the rearview mirror to look to see if anybody's sitting in the front seat, in like the driver's seat or passenger seat, you didn't see anybody. So that was that. So then after that, that's when I started hearing about this whole thing with the Gabby girl. And I'm like, oh, that's what she was talking about. Because like I said, she just sent this video and I'm like, what is she talking about? But like I said, I need our sister to get this same energy as this girl right here. I need that same energy as this woman right here on my screen. That's what I need. That is what I need. And have they found the boyfriend yet, Brian? So as we talk about him, where is Brian? Did they find him yet? Because like I said, I hadn't really been following that one like that. But did they find him? Let me know if they found him, or if his parents them still lying about his whereabouts. My kid said, I'm calling Kelly's boyfriend the new Brian Laundrie. I get it. Thank you. I got it now. Listen, to me, at least with Brian Damden just disappeared the last I knew, so he ain't even saying nothing. Kelly's boo is up there with his heels kicked up at the crib. So to me, his stuff is looking more disturbing, the fact that he's sitting somewhere just chilling. At least with the Brian guy, where he on the run the last Sunday, we ain't even heard from him. Y'all can let me know what the deal is with that. But Kelly, dude, from my understanding, like he watching the game on Sundays while we out here doing YouTube videos talking about find Kelly. He acting like he is just all good in the hood, like just chilling. I don't understand, y'all. I don't understand. I'm on here tonight trying to understand. Let me see what's going on. I'm trying to catch up, y'all, on these comments. I want to get you guys comments. Okay. Let me see. Okay. Reg Rose says, my kiddo is saying Kelly's price man is another Brian. I got it. Sorry, no problem. I'm with you. Listen, I'm with you. Search. What's that? Nicole. Hey, Nicole. What's the search to? What's that number? Marriage certificate. So that's Brian's. That was Brian and the old girl's Gabby's marriage certificate. Let me see. Daryl Crump and Kelly Price. Daryl Crump. Is Daryl Crump speaking out pertaining to Daryl Crump? Is he that attorney guy? Who is that? Name sound familiar? Is Daryl the Crump guy that be representing everybody? Is he the one that's supposed to be speaking out pertaining to Kelly, Nicole? No, they have not found him. Okay, thank you. So listen, at least he out there running. He gone. So it's justified. We ain't heard. They ain't found Brian. Okay. Kelly, man, like I said, bro is over there chilling out. I don't know if he in Cobb County too, just straight chilling, beer in hand, watching them Falcons lose, just chilling. Talking about, I don't know. Since she ain't came home, I don't know. She went to Walmart and I ain't seen. Like, what? What are you talking? What is he saying to these people? I need a statement. I'm just saying, y'all, I need a statement. Y'all let me know when he's give his statement, because I need a statement. Red Rose says, I saw a photo that someone took of him being in a hotel in Canada. So Brian in a hotel in Canada. They can follow Brian, but we Kelly gone, and then the old man at home with his heels kicked up, right? Out in the Cobb County, but we way out in Canada taking photos of old boy. Make it make sense. Like, do you guys ever notice or pick up that when it comes to us or people that look like us, it don't get the same kind of energy when we, people that look like us go missing or some shady stuff have happened? You ain't seeing no interviews on Good Morning America. It's almost like people in our community, foul stuff don't happen too. Like, that's the vibe I always get. Like, our little girls don't go missing. Like, hell, last I knew, we go missing in the largest numbers, but we don't be making these large platforms when it comes time to figure out what happened. Think about, y'all remember with Kanika Jenkins, the girl that got back when she was found in the freezer? Really, to me, I felt like the biggest story was just talked about amongst people on YouTube, not your mainstream media like that. Like, I learned about it. I think Dr. Oz did a little piece on it, but I mostly was hearing it talked about amongst our people on like YouTube, not like those large platforms that I'm talking about. It's like we don't get that same energy, y'all, and it's sad. Nicole Harris said, I am upset none of our Black news channels researched this story. Right. Listen, Nicole, I'm on here with my little channel that's growing. Praise God, it's growing. I appreciate y'all. Please like, share, subscribe if you guys are here. I'm doing what I can. And I'm glad you guys are on here tonight because somebody got to talk about it. I ain't got no dog in the fight. I ain't scared of somebody stopping my bag, stopping me from eating. Like, I don't have those concerns. So I can be on here and just be screaming from the rooftops, where is our sister, and be good with it and not be all concerned about repercussions for talking about it, because that is a real thing that people get scared to talk. That's not what I'm feeling over here. So I'm talking about it. And I want you guys to talk about it. Like I said, share the word, ask questions. We got to figure it out. Until the sister I show, say, let me see. What's our sister name? Her sister, that's Shan Ray. Until our sister Shan Ray come out and like, yo, I found my sister. To me, Kelly's still lost out there. Until I don't give a damn about no crump, no dusty boyfriend, no lawyer. I don't care about none of that. Until I hear from sis, Kelly is still lost, period. I don't care. That's Kelly's husband. Kelly, the man in the picture. So she got married because the family was talking about dating like a boyfriend. I hadn't heard no talks about, I remember she's been married before years ago, and then she had gotten a divorce, but I never heard talk about her getting married again. But the family, I never heard them put a title on anything about her husband, a husband been in play, Nicole. So that was new to me. I thought I heard them referencing a boyfriend. So you're saying Daryl Crump Jr. is the husband. So is he the one that I showed the picture of? Let me do a search on the Daryl Crump Jr. guy, or that you said Daryl. Because only Crump I know is that guy. Y'all know the one who be helping the Black folks. Is his name Crump? That bald-headed Black man that be speaking for the this guy right here. I think he's Crump. That's the only Crump I know. This one right here. But you said Daryl Crump. Let me put Junior in and see what he looking like. So who is Daryl Crump Jr.? Because if I'm understanding you right, that's the name of the man who Kelly is seeing. Is that the case? Let me maybe Darrell. Let me see. I'm just trying to see if I can get a photo with that name that you just gave me. Because I said this is the only Crump I'm familiar with. But I guess he must, his pictures ain't out there. So I don't know if that just means that, he just the Darrell Crump Jr. guy is just like a regular guy. He's not like anybody famous that would have his picture out there. My kiddo said he definitely had help getting to Canada. I'm sure he did. His mama and daddy probably sent him to Canada. While they was on the news line, like we done merged multiple stories. We just got this as a miss. We just calling this the missing person live. The missing person. Look, we trying to find some folks. I'm sure for him to get to Canada, hell, don't you need a passport to get to Canada? Because that's still on my bucket list to get to Canada. Don't you need you can't just, and if he on it, but technically, is he considered now, I guess, is he still in that person of interest category, or have they officially kind of like, is there a warrant out for him, for the guy? Because even when she was lost, like people was tripping on the fact that they still wasn't calling him a suspect. Now, y'all know good and well, back to the brown people, the folks that look like me and you, if anything happened to say the woman and she had her a black man, out the gate, they looking over there at him. It ain't no, he said he don't know what happened. Y'all know good and dang well he is the person that they looking at, and they ain't gonna have no problem talking about saying that they looking at him. They gonna reveal his whole history. Going back to when he was in the second grade and slapped the little girl behind him or cut her ponytail. Y'all know that they leave nothing out when it comes to us, even when it's just a possible connection. It's like they treat the other people with kid gloves, but with us, it's like they go all in. It's like I say, like it's different energy when it comes to us. Pull the marriage certificate. That was the marriage. Okay, so you talking about was that the little Gabby, that the little white lady's marriage certificate you're talking about? Nicole Harris. He also had a stalker case filed against him in June. It's too much. But though he running the streets, running rampant in Canada. Okay. Kelly's boyfriend married her 4 days after her mama died. But he ain't out here wondering where his wife is. Your wife missing, and you ain't concerned. Her sister the one showing more concern than you, and you just good with the fact that, she ain't at home. She's somewhere getting her mind right. Okay. Nicole says, I've been posting on my IG, Nicole Vada, but more people need to make noise. That's great. I mean, I don't really use Instagram a lot to like post things like that. I just kind of come on here and do these videos on YouTube. If you haven't subscribed, please, follow me, Nicole. But more people need to talk about it. And the fact that people aren't, it makes it that much more questionable. Why are people so silent? What do people know? Do people in the industry know the truth? Do we still know? Have we even learned the cause of the death behind AJ from Friday and him falling out in the stove? Have we learned why he just fell out? Last I knew, his wife was trying to collect some funds to pay for the burial, and she was in her feelings because I guess people ain't trying to come through to help her out. What's going on with that? Like spooky. It's just it's too much. I'm getting hit with so much stuff left and right. When I decide on doing videos, usually what I'll do, like I'll just go off of, okay, what's being talked about very loudly, or what do I feel should be talked about louder than what it is? And that's what brought me on tonight, because I wasn't planning to go on, but when I seen just, doing my thing, browsing on YouTube, and I seen that the sister, Kelly's sister, was like, my sister's still lost out there. I started researching. I'm like, I got to get on here and talk about it, because if her sister is still lost, like, why ain't nobody making a fuss over this and talking about it? on their platforms. Like I've seen a little bit out there, but not like it should be, y'all. Like, no, it ain't been talked about. It ain't been given that energy like it should be. Ben Crump is attorney for everybody. Yes, he is. He's suspect. He's the attorney. I don't trust that. Something about him, it just, some don't feel right. And if you notice, I don't even think that fool be running around winning cases. I think all his stuff be settlements. I don't even think he be winning that stuff. He just be walking. It be just straight settlements. So I don't even know why everybody folks just be bothering. You know, he seemed like he the industry plant that connects to like hell. Is he the person who he might, next thing you know, we might start seeing him connected to Kelly Price's name. Like, yeah, I've been watching him, and something about him. I don't trust him. I don't trust that Crump attorney guy. I don't. Reg Rose says, not the missing person live. Listen, that's what I feel like this has turned into. I was on here to talk about our sister Kelly. They done brought their Brian up in here, the little white girl, Gabby, whatever the hell was her name. Listen, I'm trying to keep up because I really wasn't really following her like that because, like I said, we don't get the attention like them. Our people go missing like a lot, but it don't get that same energy and talked about. So when it came down to our white sis being missing, like it didn't, I don't know. I wasn't moved, y'all, to kind of come on here to talk about her, but it kind of have segued into that because this seemed to be have turned into the missing person live and people giving me information about it. And I'm getting over here confused with, okay, who the hell is Brian? Is that Kelly man, Brian? But no, that's the other white girl man. So listen, y'all, I'm trying to keep up, but yes, this is the missing person live. We trying to find some folks. Anybody listen, y'all go look in Canada to look for Brian, because word on the streets, Brian is running rampant in them streets in Canada. Hey, don't Drake live out there in Canada? Hell, tell Drake, please send Brian home. Drake, send Brian home because the people got some questions. My kiddo too said he is considered a fugitive and has warrants on him. About doggone time. What? He done became the fugitive, what, after they done found her doggone left leg buried somewhere? That fool should have been considered listen, they had more than enough time to put that little white man in them cuffs. More than enough time. More than enough time to put that man in the cuffs. So y'all playing out there while he running around out there in Canada. Brian Laundrie has a felony charges, credit card, that doing the absolute most. Now, you know, Nicole, if that was, what we going to call him? Marcus. If that was Marcus, let's just, if that was Marcus, soon as that girl would have came up missing, Marcus would have just been held and detained. Well, listen, Marcus, we just gonna keep you on GP until we find her. How about that? We don't want you going nowhere. You know what, Betty? Put this little ankle monitor on. We want to put this ankle monitor on while you sit up in the jailhouse. We need all eyes on you, period. It's a different energy when it comes to them. They get all these the benefit of the doubt. And now the damn man had enough time, y'all, to pack his bag, apply for a doggone, what you call it, a passport. You know, you got to apply for that. You wait for that to come in the mail. Brian had enough time to do all of that, y'all, and get the hell on. Make it make sense. Nicole says, they said Jaguar Wright was missing. I did hear that. Did they ever find her? Again, it was kind of like a background chatter. I don't know if it was maybe like a title of somebody's thumbnail on their video where it says something about Jaguar Wright missing, but she has been quiet. I haven't heard, because at one point I was mostly kind of hearing her on that YouTuber who ain't no longer around. Was that Nosy Hole Live? I was more so hearing Jaguar's name on there, but it's been months since I heard Jaguar's name. And last I knew, was she living and going in and out of like hotels? Like, sis was legit, like living like as though she was on the run, like moving and dodging, shaking folks. So is she really missing? Like, that's the thing. Like, that's something that I guess I want to know if anybody do know. Is Jaguar really missing? Reg Rose says Ben Crump definitely has a deceptive face. Yes. We don't trust him as far as we can see him. We need somebody else for the people. Brian planned all of this. Clearly, I told y'all he applied for the doggone passport, had the background check, got it in the mail, paid for it, took the picture. You know, you got to go to the Walgreens or the CVS, you get your little passport. Listen, Brian had enough time to do all of that. Y'all know, anybody got a passport, you know that is a process. That is not no overnight situation. Bruh had the time to do all of that and mess around with, get married. Like, listen, it's too much. He's gone. Drake, if you get this live, you see, bro, please send him home. Who else out there? We got a lot. We got Drake, Justin Bieber, Deborah Cox. Y'all remember Deborah Cox? Deborah Cox is Canadian. She live out there too. Who else we got? What's the Alyssa? It's a whole bunch. Listen, anybody in Canada, if y'all listening to this live, this is the live for the missing people. Please put them on the first plane back to the U.S. People needs to talk to them. People need to talk to Brian. It's too much. Like, it's too much going on. Like, really, it's too much. But still, I still feel like we need the same energy for Kelly. Like, we need this same energy for her. And us people who just got the small, like, you know, Nicole, you said you posted on your Instagram. Anybody who got anything that can connect to people, y'all start posting stuff. Ask questions. We can't sleep on this and just be quiet about this, because think about it. If it was you or your loved one, would you want them to just, because y'all know I'm always quick to say, y'all know people have very short attention spans. And I was just telling someone how when stuff pop off, it doesn't take long before it to be forgotten about, because it's another story that hits the scene. You see how this stuff overlapping, like how, you know, we were talking about with the Brian and the old white girl. What's her name? Gabby. Trying to remember Gabby. We were talking about them, and then suddenly we got hit with Kelly Price. So it's like, okay, all right. It's because it's like once we focus on one thing and then we shift to another, it removes some of that energy from who we were talking about before. And that's the thing. What I don't want to see happen with our girl Kelly is that we shift past her and then we move on to the next big story. And it's like, oh, shoot, oh, snap. Whatever happened to Kelly? As hell, like I said, somebody just brought with Jaguar Wright. They were saying she was missing. Where is Jag? Because y'all know Jag used to like to talk. She had a little cigarette in hand, had a little phone posted, and she would go in telling all the business. Where is Jag? What hotel is she in? Where is that husband of hers? Where are they? But like I said, as things keep happening, you guys they always say, you know, stuff get put out there as a distraction. Remember I said AJ, the guy from Friday, he died. Like it's always something. So then you're struggling to try to kind of keep it all together and not forget about anybody, because people can get lost. You know, people can forget about you because, like I said, people have short attention spans. Mike Kittle 2 says Jaguar made a video recently. Sometimes she goes off the grid. She stated that some people were after her due to a lot of the allegations that she has made. Okay, thank you for that update. That is true. Like she does, she do talk a lot. So I'm glad that she's still out there safe and she wasn't forgot about. Now, you know, it's about Kelly and we want to make sure that she doesn't forget. She's not forgotten about. And we know, you know, what's going on with her. Because something ain't right. Like, what about the people, I guess whatever show that she had, if there was tickets in place, what did they tell those people who couldn't see her? Yeah, she like, what was the explanation? Like, what are you telling the people when she's not showing up to something? Like, what's the reason that you're giving to the people? My Kittle 2 says AJ died of a heart attack while shopping at a mall. Okay, so he died of a heart attack. Was he 50? He was 55. He was young. Now, as I see, have you guys heard, like the mom, his wife is asking for people to help with, I guess, his burial. I don't know if there's a GoFundMe out there. I hadn't seen one, but I'd seen people put out there that she's trying to collect money. And then I think the last headline I seen on the video, I didn't click on it, that she was upset that people aren't giving her money to help with his burial. So I don't know, when she say people, like, or she, is it just the celebrities? I know what she worked closely with. It was an Ice Cube movie that he did. Was he in Friday After Next? Because I was listening to somebody tonight. I didn't finish listening to the video, but they were saying that, I guess AJ had said that Cube had told him he would be in that next Friday, or that, the sequel of that Friday movie. But when it came time to filming, he didn't get the phone call to say, yo, we about to start filming. So was he in that or not? It's almost like he ended up not being in the movie after all. So that was new to me. I had never heard that story before. So after finish listening to that video, I stopped it because I wanted to jump on and do this video before it got late. But like I said, I've kind of been all over the place, like with these stories, with the way my brain works. It's like when I hear about different things, I just start trying to research them so I can get as much information as I can when I come onto these lives to share with you. So that, AJ situation is a whole nother situation. So we got AJ, which we know, okay, he's no longer with us, but Kelly, there's a big question mark still over her situation. My kiddo too says the wife is mad because enough people have not donated, celebrities and people in general. Wow. Like, for example, speaking as I've talked about Ice Cube, I wonder what's said when, say, if somebody reach out to him and say, hey, can you help me? Like, what are these people saying? Because me personally, I can't imagine somebody who I worked with, if their family or something came to me and say, hey, and now keep in mind, in my situation is I am a millionaire. So we all know Cube is a millionaire. We can't argue that. Somebody who I closely worked with come to me and say, hey, I'm struggling. Can you help me out? I personally can't imagine saying no, not trying to put something on it. Like, when I know I got it, that's like, I'm confused by that part. Nicole, you said somebody said he died broke after making millions. Well, if you make $35,000 a year for 30 years, then you died making over $1 million. Correct. Because you still got your regular expenses. So like you said, say if you make $35,000 a year, you're still paying to live within that year. So that money isn't just like sitting just in the bank accumulating interest. It doesn't work that way. Yes, we all can count on how much money we made, but it's about, okay, how much you were able to save, because your daily expenses, you got family, like, to live, it costs to live. Like, y'all, it costs to legit breathe. Water ain't even free. Only thing what we are getting free is what? Air. And a lot of us live in places where the daggone air, that's janky. So it costs to live. It costs to be on this earth. Period. That's hence why you got the homeless people on the side of the street trying to collect a quarter. It costs to breathe. Inflation. My kiddo too says, I would not give the wife money. I would pay for the funeral directly. That part, that's even good. You ain't got to give her money. But the fact that he was in the industry, was he in any other movies or anything other than Friday? Because I also, in that video I told you guys I got to finish listening to, apparently his father was like in the industry. He was a stuntman or something like that. Are you guys familiar with AJ's background? But apparently his father, I think he was a stunt man. He used to be in stunts. So I guess he come from a family where there was someone else who was kind of in the industry. But I'm still kind of learning more about him. And, his death, some people are, side-eyeing that whole situation. So I don't know if I'll come back and do a video on him or not. you guys let me know in the comments or whatever. I always ask, if there's anything you guys want me to talk about, research, and if I feel like it's something like that's the people would kind of be interested in, I certainly come out here and do videos on things. So I always ask, please drop comments. I like to read comments. Let me know, because I have done videos based off of suggestions from subs. But I do thank you all for being on here. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you know when I go live. Anybody who's familiar with my channel, I'm real random over here. So it's just impromptu when sis go live with the way my life's set up. That's how I roll over here at this point. My kills exactly. And inflation is steady climbing. Right. So we can't go off of, as Nicole talked about, you can make $35,000 a year and still, made millions in your lifetime. That ain't how it works. It's not how it works. Nicole says, Ice Cube is saying, I can't pay the funeral for 1,500 people. Imagine all the movies and albums he's done. He'd die broke trying to pay for a grown man's funeral. Let me see. Ice Cube is saying, I can't pay the funeral for 1,500 people. You're right. And he ain't even got to pay for it. Like, my thing is just putting some money on. Okay, here, I got $1,000 on it. Like, I'm talking about stuff like that, because that type of stuff add up when people, collective, like when you pass the plate, like, did she officially put like a GoFundMe out there? Because for her to say people aren't donating, do anybody know if there's because I hadn't seen it. Is there a GoFundMe out there for AJ? And like, what's that goal? Anybody who has that information, please share it. Drop it in the comments, because I'm wondering how is she going about asking, for the money. My kiddo too says he was a stand-up comedian. So the father, AJ was a stand-up comedian. Are you saying that? Okay. I can't recall if I've seen him stand up. Was he used to be, y'all remember back in the day, what they used to have, Comic View? Was he ever one of them ones from back in the day, Comic View on there? Because I used to watch that a lot. So I think maybe it just came down to once he kind of got in that movie, I started to remember him more so from acting versus his stand-up. Because, a lot of times, these comedians, they start out as stand-ups and then, they transition to the movies and things like that. So you kind of come to know them more in the recent times, what they were doing versus what their startup was. So maybe that was a situation with AJ. AJ was at times. Okay. So I'm hoping that sis, his wife can get what she needs to pay for the funeral. And that someone said somebody to just pay for the funeral, that's fine too. Somebody can just pay the bill, but I mean, hopefully she can get help for it. It's just unfortunate. He was a young man. Do you have any children? Do anybody know if AJ had any kids? I hadn't heard any talks of any children. Nicole said he was on Def Comedy Jam with Pierre, Bill Bellamy, Chris Rock, that era. Okay, I understand. So I remember those times. I used to watch those things. Like I said, I think once he probably did the movie, I kind of more so. And now that you talk about it, I think I can picture him standing, because he's like a short man, standing on the stage and things. But I think, in his last years, people just mostly just remembered him from Friday, when he had the line, my neck, my back, my neck and my back. Like, he just kind of became known from that. But thanks for sharing that information, Nicole. I mean, just prayers to all our people. I mean, and all, in times like this, as far as with the money situation, it just goes to show with how just with our community, the struggles that we have. Like we struggle in the area of with our health, with our finances, and a lot of stuff, guys, is rooted to the financial part. That's why I'm all for reparations. Like, I feel like when you don't have the money, as we talk about inflation, the cost of things going up, but the money people's incomes, the average person's income isn't going up like that. When we talk about things like that, it doesn't add up. So you have people within our community where there's a struggle, where we have poor health conditions, where we don't have the health insurance, where people who do get maybe food stamps, or they have the EBT card, the foods and things that they're buying, the unhealthy. You guys, I don't know if you know, but a lot of people that just live in poverty or an impoverished area, there's a lot of those people have weight issues. And even with this whole, pandemic going on, with the people being sick and being able to fight it, when you have those pre-existing conditions, which for the most part with our community is centered around our weight, things associated with our weight, that's resulted in the high blood pressure, the diabetes, and all of those things. A lot of this stuff is rooted to finances and having resources, proper food and shelter, things like that. Like, all of that stuff is connected. Reg Rose says almost all celebrities in Hollywood are actually really thirsty for attention and money, especially Black celebrities, since we've been oppressed so long. Stay prayed up, y'all. Like, we have to. Like, even our Black celebrities, like even in Hollywood, they checks don't look like the white people checks. That's been talked about for many years. Their checks don't look like theirs. Like, that's just across, whether you're in corporate, like any industry, our money don't look like their money. Everything goes back to the money. So collectively, we don't live as good as they do. And it's unfortunate. Half the time when our people pass away, there's no life insurance in place. You got to pass the collection plates. You got to sell fish plates, rib plates at the church. Excuse me. It's like the money isn't there. And then the people, to have an insurance policy, you pay for that. And a lot of times they're not really expensive, but it is something, a reoccurring bill that you do have to pay for. And it just seems like more often than not with our people, we don't have things like that in place. So then we have discussions on money. Did you guys hear about when that was that Chadwick Boseman, his wife was suing she was suing his family or something to try to get her money back for the funeral that she paid for? What's y'all thoughts about that? Did you guys hear about that? That was maybe about almost a month ago. I heard about that. I didn't come on and talk about it, but I don't think I did. At least I don't think I talked about it, but maybe I did, y'all. I be talking so much. I don't know. But his wife, I think somebody else did a video on it, and I did a comment in there. So it's like, because the content creator who did a video on it thought the wife was in the wrong. It was a bad look for her to want her money back for the funeral. I think she had paid like $70,000. So my question is, why didn't his estate pay for his funeral? Because remember, you guys, he had gotten married like right before he passed away. So my thing is, why didn't the estate pay for the funeral? Why is she paying for the funeral and she's looking to be reimbursed? What did his will? Was there a will in place? Did he leave her money? Like, y'all, I was so confused by that, because my thing is like, okay, if you're the wife, he passed away, isn't what all that he had, his finances, wouldn't that be hers? Like, so wouldn't his money be her money? So she just paying for whatever. Like, I was so confused by that. But she was suing the estate for reimbursement for his funeral. So my thing was, okay, well, I'm not mad at the idea, because she knows, okay, the money is sitting over here in this account. And since you guys are not trying to reimburse me to pay for his funeral, I'm going to have to take y'all to court to get it. Y'all, I was confused by that one. I was real confused. My kiddo too said Michael Blackson contributed $10,000 and his followers also paid another $10,000. Is this for the funeral for AJ? Because how much so what, that's 20,000. So are we talking about 20,000 for the funeral? If we're talking about AJ funeral, that's not enough to pay for the funeral. Listen, if we only working with a certain budget, that means everybody can't. First of all, we live in a time of a pandemic. I thought we can't be having these big funerals and all of that when folks are passing away. So is that no longer a thing? Can everybody just show up to stuff like normal now? Because you're going to have a cutoff then if, you only got a budget for whatever. My kiddo said the wife is still furious. She stated that she needs 45,000. Okay, come on now. Now listen, if you begging, you asking for help, you're needing financial assistance, you got to work with what you're giving. Like, you got to work with that. I don't understand what this ain't no doggone wedding. Like, he's gone. What kind of experience are you looking for him to have at this service that you can't make the money that what you got work? Like I said, everybody can't show up. He was known, but was he that known to where we talking about trying to rent out doggone doing a Nipsey Hussle type experience? Make it make sense to me, y'all. Maybe I ain't know AJ was all like that to where we got to try to have a budget of $45,000 for his going away service. Maybe I done missed some movies or some stand-ups or something he did. What money? Girl, I don't know. Yeah. Nicole says Black actors do not get residuals. They get paid up front. I can believe that. Reg Rose said Chaz Boseman was worth more dead rather than alive, like most of them, to Hollywood. His ass wasn't sick with cancer. That man was in the best shape and optimal health filming Black Panther. Right. Listen, we ain't even get into all that. Half these people, I side-eyed when I learned that they done doggone left us. Really? What's the reason y'all giving and why they gone? Really? I'm curious to know in time. That's why I don't want us to forget about Kelly, because you can't keep saying for so long, like, oh, sis is taking a break. We about to enter the holiday times. Halloween coming up, Thanksgiving coming up. When sis ain't sitting around the table for Thanksgiving, what you going to be saying then? She's still somewhere trying to get her mind right. Ooh, come on now. For AJ's funeral. Nicole says, wow, when was the funeral? He died September 6th. You talking about Chad, Nicole, are you talking about Chadwick's funeral? When was the funeral? Are you talking about when was his funeral? Because didn't he die like sometime last year or something like that? So I'm not sure if you're talking about him when you're asking about a funeral. AJ. Oh, I don't think AJ had the funeral. If sis still trying to collect money, then my kid said she needs to get 3 jobs and shut up. Right. Like, listen, the way they were saying she was in her feelings, I was thinking nobody donated nothing. But when y'all said, oh, she had a good 20. Okay. Yeah. She really need to have several seats. Nicole, I'm not sure. I hadn't heard that a funeral was scheduled or anything. I think she was still working on trying to get the money together. So we haven't had anything. But my thing is, you got to work with what you got. Like, it's going to have to be real basic. You need to go ahead and have your real basic surface and then record it. Maybe you can have it live stream. Come on, we got to make this thing work. That's with anything, with anybody. You make what you got work. You be thankful for what you got and you make it work, period. AJ died September 6th. Okay. Rachel says she's not even responding with all this publicity. She's not even responding with all of this publicity. Excuse me. Who are you talking about? Are you talking about AJ's wife isn't responding, Rachel? Reg Rose says this actor's wife is finessing social media and using her husband's death for clout and money. I can believe that. I mean, clearly, when the last time we had heard AJ's name prior to this? That's the part. Like, we have to put things in perspective. Like, when was the last time? Like, I know who he is, but he wasn't somebody that was on my brain. So for you, meaning like the wife, to be having this energy, like, where is it coming from? It's like, it's entitlement. It's giving me entitlement energy. Like, I wonder, did she not work? What was she doing with her life? Because I guess it's giving me vibes that she didn't have no job. She had no income. Like, I'm trying to understand where this energy that she has, where is it coming from? Because I'm sensing like entitlement. Kelly. Okay, yes. Like to me, it would make sense. Why wouldn't you respond? And I don't know if you were on Rachel earlier when I showed the video on her Instagram page where that was the last post that she had. I think it was July 29th. And she hadn't even gone to the hospital yet. I think she might was still at home, but she had the face mask on. She was just talking about how she felt horrible, just her body just aching, tired. And then she had some shows that was like coming up during the month of August, and she was concerned about not being able to meet those obligations and things like that. So if she was showing those concerns when she was still at the house, it doesn't make sense that once she go to the hospital, checks out, why she's still not concerned with the fact that her fans and her loved ones are concerned about her. Like Kelly, her spirit, that's not who, as we see, that's not Kelly. Kelly gives a damn. She's not one of those type of celebrities as we see with her energy. Like I said, go to her Instagram page. Just type Google Kelly Price. Go to her page. I'm gonna bring her page back up. She don't have that energy of like not caring like that. Like, oh, well, people worried about me. I'm not concerned about, like, that's not the energy that Kelly gives. So the fact that people are concerned, she got to know that. She has to know that. So it makes me just wonder, is our sister really okay? Is she somewhere, like, can she speak? Is she laid up in a bed? Like, is she still with us? Like, I can't help but to wonder or to ask these questions, because right now, with everything going on, we can't assume anything because it's not making sense. Who is this a picture of? Let me see. I'm on her Instagram page right now. The faces of Corona, hand in hand, couple Eddie and Blanche Johnson shared final embrace as their battle with the 19 neared its end. This is a woman who cares. So, but you mean to tell me she not caring enough to respond to her family, her fans? Like, it doesn't, when I always say, if you look at someone's social medias today, like, it helps you kind of get an idea, excuse me, of somebody. And when I look at her page, I get the idea that this is a woman who's just enjoying life and just looking at every day as being a blessing. Let's see, who is this she's with on this picture? Today is hard. I wonder who's this man. But as you see, she has a smile on her face, and I just get the vibe that, like, the impression that she just feels blessed to be here. So this her dad. She posted that. This was June 21st, 2021. It doesn't make sense for her to just go ghost like that, y'all. We need to be concerned. We need to pray about it. We need to ask questions. Continue to ask, hey, where's Kelly? Anybody seen Kelly? Because I said people's attention spans are very short, and y'all know your story is the big story until the next big story. Y'all know how that go. It's the way it is. Your story is the big story until the next big story. And that's what I feel like that what we're dealing with. We're now we're ending the month of September. Come October, how many people are going to be questioning, where is Kelly when October comes? Because something else going to be popped off out here in these streets to where people are going to be talking about it. So then it's going to be like, oh, snap. I wonder what's going on with Kelly. Did they ever find Kelly? Like, it's going to be one of those things. And what they say, time is of the essence. So if sis is somewhere distraught, needing help, every day makes a difference. Okay, so she has this picture of Chadwick. Let's see what she said on him. Remember, I talked about him. Only the good die young, because no matter how old they are, it is still too soon. And they are still too young. I just want clear instructions on how to right all the wrongs that have the entire world in this predicament. Help us, God, to see our transgressions, correct them, and be restored to the worthlessness of your grace. 2020 literally has me tired. That was August 29th, 2020. She posted that, and she has her location safe at home. Today, September 25th, 2021, our sister is not safe at home. It's a sad situation. Make it make sense. It's not making sense. I never seen this. Was that Walgreens put this up in honor of one of the last cities to in the March for a live performance prior to the world being declared in a state of global pandemic. Shout out to the great city of Memphis, Tennessee, home of Al Green and the Church of God in Christ. Yeah, we can't forget about her. She's somewhere like, my thing is I don't really know where she is. I don't feel like she's somewhere doing well. I feel like there's some suspect activity. Something's not right. I can pick up in the interview. If you guys have, if you weren't on my live in the very beginning, you guys can catch the playback. I rewind it, or after I finish, go back. I played the interview with her sister, and she's really going through it. This is the man, I'm assuming, her Kelly's new man, who, I don't know if they're supposed to be a husband or boyfriend. I don't know if someone in the comments mentioned her being married, or maybe they were talking about the little white girl, because I was getting the information cross-jawed. But this is supposed to be the man, I believe, that haven't been the most cooperative. She got a ring on her finger, but I hadn't heard nobody like talking about her being married or anything like that, or even engaged. This is the last video she did. She posted this on July 29th.
I am doing probably one of the last things that I would have expected to be doing right now. Wasn't feeling so well last night, and got up this morning and went to the doctor and got checked out, went to a testing center, and it has come back that I have COVID after a very long year and a half of so much stuff with this disease. I am COVID positive. And so I am quarantined right now. I do not have to go into the hospital. I'm very achy. I have no appetite. I'm very weak. I can barely stay awake. And so I am following doctor's orders and praying that this thing passes quickly so that I can get back to
I don't know. It's crazy when I play that video. Something funky always. It's crazy whenever I let me see. My live stopped. It's so crazy when I play that video of Kelly, something funky just happens with my stream. I don't know what's that about, y'all. But that video I was playing, it was on her Instagram. If you didn't catch it, I played it earlier, but you can go to her Instagram page, Kelly Price. Just Google Kelly Price IG, and you can get to her page. But something funny always happens when I play that video. I don't know what that's about, y'all, but it kind of messes with my life. Cremate him for $800 and sit your ass down. Oh, y'all crazy. I know that's right, because a cremation, listen, ain't nobody got all that money to be paying for. My thing is, if your money don't warrant, if you ain't got them coins to pay for a burial, then you got to get what you got to get. I know folks who had to be cremated and then they just got buried in the ground. So listen, you got both. You got your cremation and you got buried. Listen, you got to work with what you got. So I'm with you on that, my kiddo. You say sit your ass down. Y'all crazy. Nicole said homegoing celebration for AJ Johnson is the GoFundMe. Total raise $54,000. Okay, well, okay. So is Sis still mad at this number? Total raise. So is this the goal when you, Nicole, you saying that's the total? That is that the goal, or that's what they raised so far? I want, but she got to work with what she got. Period. Like, come on now. I'm like, kiddo, you go get, you take this goddamn $800 and you go sit the hell down. My kiddo said, I saw now she had 74,000 and still complaining. Listen. Oh, Jesus. Listen, you know, I'm done with her. I'm done with her. I'm so done. Like I said, I think Chadwick Boseman, his wife had said, well, she had paid 70,000 and she trying to get her money back. So this is more than that. And we all know AJ definitely wasn't no Chadwick Boseman. So his claim to fame wasn't nowhere near on that level. So she really knows she need to have several seats. My kiddo says, I don't think Kelly is doing well. She probably is on a ventilator. Right. And from what I've heard, when you hit that ventilator, then it ain't that often. More often than not, you ain't really coming off of that or bouncing back from that. That's from, from the stories that I've heard. Fortunately, I haven't known anybody personally who kind of, got sick on that level and had to be on that. But I've heard, stories and people who did, but I just don't feel like, it's just not in my spirit that I feel like she's good and she's fine and she's resting. Like, cause you can only lie for so long. So how long are they going to, like I said, you got the holidays coming up. How long are they going to keep with this? Oh, she's good. She's just getting her mind right. What are you going to say? Oh, wherever she was kicking it or chilling at, oh, she got sick and she passed away there. Like, what are you going to say? Because what they say, when you do have one lie, you got to chase it after another. That's the thing about lying. Like, they can be kind of ongoing, never ending. Nicole says Kelly Price got married almost a year ago, which makes sense. That's how the boyfriend was able to keep her family away. But here's the thing, you guys notice when you on her Instagram page, for her to be a whole married woman, why don't you see her life, pictures of her life with her husband? Like, y'all see me, I seen that one picture and then I kept going down further and further to the one picture I had already seen last night that I never found again. But if that's your husband, why aren't we seeing images? Like, think about it. You're a normal average person who's married. Like, when you go to their social media, you ain't having to dig and go through years of pictures worth of pictures before you see a husband and a wife together. Like, that's not the norm. What is the deal with that? Like, something don't sound right, even with that relationship. Nicole said, follow the money. Oh yeah, they always say follow the money. And then the fact that he just chilling and he just ain't saying nothing, like he ain't got a care in the world, and this is his wife who's missing. Hell, did the family even know that she was married? I mean, because I said they refer to him as like a boyfriend. Ain't nobody calling this man a husband. So did they even know that she had ran off it? Like, I'm confused by it. It's not making sense. Something's not right. Was there an insurance? Let's talk about an insurance policy. You know how that go with policies and stuff like that and payouts. Something's not right. Something's not right. Like I said, until that sister with her, what's her name? Cherie Price. Until Miss Cherie Price say that her sister is safe at home, she laid eyes on her sister until she come out saying whatever. I'm not I'm not going forward with whatever the media is saying. I'm not. I'm not, people can choose to go along the path of whatever, but when it don't make sense, it don't make sense. And this right here, y'all, it doesn't make sense. Like, I'm so shook on it. I don't even be on here doing these lives. So I'm coming up on 2 hours, y'all. I normally stop this stuff at about 1 hour, but I'm on here because I see that there's other people who are concerned as well and who have things to say. And I feel that people need to know that there's other people who are concerned, and it's not just them. They ain't the only ones. Like, you know how sometimes you might be thinking, be like, am I crazy? Am I the only one that's side-noting this? No, you're not. Like, that's one of these moments. You're not crazy. This stuff is straight suspect. And why more people aren't talking about it, that's a whole nother issue in itself. It's very, very alarming, very disturbing. It's on so many levels. So many levels. And Kelly Price is a big name person. We on here talking about AJ wife, talking about she mad at the $75,000 that she done collected, and somebody told her to take the goddamn $800 and go sit her ass down somewhere. But though we ain't got enough energy talking about our girl Kelly, make it make sense. AJ wife really need to go have several seats, because we talking about now a woman that we haven't even laid eyes on to know what's going on with her. But you over here with money enough, more than enough to bury your husband, and you being ungrateful. Make it make sense. I can't do it, y'all. Rachel, I agree. I can't do it. Summer Passion One said, that's right. Until the sister says she's safe. Period. Like, until then. Summer Passion One said, I am very concerned. Until then. You guys just continue to watch the story. I may come back and do, an updated video if I get the updates. There's more information to come out, but the case is not closed until the sister comes out and speak. And as when one of the articles I showed earlier on the live, I think the authorities was saying that missing person report or whatever hadn't what they said, she was now listed as a missing on the National Crime Information Center. But I don't know if that's even been updated from her not, the missing category, if that's been removed. I hope it hasn't. And then you got the sister speaking out still. I think that interview she did, that was today's date, the 25th. She's still speaking out on it. So I don't see how you close the date. Hell, I need as much attention as Nicki Minaj talking about the damn man balls being swollen up in Trinidad. I need that type of coverage. I need y'all seen how that was talked about all over the place and hitting all the platforms. I need that same swollen balls energy when it comes to our girl Kelly Price. I need y'all to be talking about the swollen balls gate. Like I need all that. This is the Kelly Price gate. Where are Kelly's friends? I don't know. Like the interview that I had showed, I don't know if you saw, I think my kiddo, you were on here early. One of the friends, Nikki Gilbert, was on there, but I don't know where everybody is quiet. That's that Hollywood stuff, y'all. That's why I'm so glad. I always said, I take the money over the fame. Y'all can have that fame, that Hollywood stuff, because what they say, they call it Holly weird. Just something ain't right. It's almost like they be knowing stuff that goes on. Kind of like, what they say, what happens behind closed doors, stay here. It's like that energy, like they be knowing stuff, but you ain't at liberty to kind of be talking about stuff. And when you do start talking about stuff, then you blackballed, you shunned, they got you looking crazy. Like I said, with Nicki Minaj, they got Nicki right now looking real crazy in these streets. Everything she said, literally legit, somebody else have come out from Twitter to the people in Trinidad have come out to say, that's a lie. We didn't say that. They got her looking real crazy. Because I feel like the powers that be, when you get to moving, to operating, saying stuff that they don't want you to say, they can do that to make you look crazy. Like that, it's that they have that type of control. I believe that. I've seen it. So as even Nikki said in her live, she see why a lot of people are afraid to speak out, because she's like, well, look what's happening to me. Like I said, I'm not afraid over here to speak out because I'm not in that industry. They ain't doing nothing for me or my livelihood. But those who bank on or who relies on eating from that industry, they sit in silence and nobody's saying anything. And it's dangerous, it's scary, it's disturbing, it's spooky, it's all of those words that you want to use to describe it. Summer Passion One says, not sure if you have already mentioned it, but I see that she was battling Hertz Rental. She was putting them on blast. No. I have to look up that one. Let me see. Kelly Price and Hertz Rental. So I wonder, what did she have a commercial or Hertz Kelly Price? Let me see what we gonna find on that. Kelly Price Hertz. I didn't hear that because y'all know that be happening too. When folks start going up against big dogs, next thing you know, they got a trial. They all on trial. They then got accused. All kinds of stuff get to happen when there's an issue. Singer-Songwriter Travels put hers. Okay, so let me go ahead. I'm gonna share my screen with you guys because when Summer Passion mentioned that, I want to show y'all what I just found because this Hertz thing was new to me. So y'all can let me know if y'all familiar with it. So we're going to click on this one right here. Okay. Hopefully ain't no sound popping up on here. Travelers put Hertz rental car on blast for blast. Okay. Is this okay? So let's get into what this says. Dozens of travelers, including Kelly Price, have come forward to put popular. Okay. So first of all, let's stop. This is dated September 24th, 2021. Dozens of travelers, including singer Kelly Price, have come forward to put popular rental car brand Hertz on blast after the company put them in some very dangerous situations. In late May, Kelly Price said the company failed to close out her rental agreement nearly 10 days after she returned a 24-hour rental. To make matters worse, the company then allegedly accused her of having possession of her car and threatened to have her arrested for fraud if they don't go sit down somewhere. Mind you, I've been speaking to someone every single day, Price said in a personal social media video. Hertz has taken nearly an additional $1,500 out of my account over the last 5 days because they say I still have the car. They've double checked and know the car is there, and they know the lazy young lady behind the desk at the airport is just behind in her paperwork and hasn't closed out my agreement. If they don't, go sit down somewhere. The singer then explained that an employee of the company harassed her and threatened to have the police come to her house despite knowing all of this. See, listen. For days, she took to Twitter to get answers and publicly put the company on blast in hopes of getting some recourse. So she says, at Hertz, the Faye employee laughed and said, I'll get to it when I get to it. Number one in customer with SAC and quality control can do anything about it. Hertz, you keep taking money out of my account every day. What kind of system gives the local worker more power than the upper level management? Someone running the brand's Twitter account replying saying, hello, Kelly, I have followed up with you in the existing DM thread, Caitlin. That's crazy, y'all. So when did all this go down? Let me see. Was there a date on this Twitter? So this was May. I wonder how did all of that end up ending? Did she ended up resolving all of that? That's a lawsuit right there to me, y'all, for Kelly on them, especially if she can prove. Because I imagine, when you turn in your car, you do all that stuff, you got paperwork and stuff you signing off on, like you got your contract for your dates. Hell, you got camera footage to show all that. So that's a whole mess. That one's new to me. Thank you for sharing, Summer Passion One, because I hadn't heard that one. And y'all know, like I said, they start making you look crazy. That's when you know when the powers that be, when they done with you because they feel like you ain't doing what they want you to do, then they start making you look crazy. That's from what I feel like what happens a lot when it comes to the people in the industry. When you don't play by their rules, they make things hard for you. Like, you remember Nick Cannon had to, when he, said whatever he said, and then they had want him to jump through all these hoops and stuff. And he was doing it. And, Black community was like, start looking at him side eye because he said what he said. But by the time the powers that be got a hold of him, he start backtracking and, we just sitting back looking at him, just shaking our heads like, what the hell, it's crazy. Yes. Summer said, claims she did not return her call. She said they was harassing her. Listen, like, video, what do you say? There's a video, she was going live. Find the video. She was pissed. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see. Let me try to go back, see if we can find the video. Because I didn't come across nothing on her Instagram. Let me see. Kelly Price. Video blasting. Let me see. If I put blasting, I meant blasting, y'all. Blasting hurts. Maybe this it. Let's pause it for some.
I got a letter in the mail from Hertz today, and I thought perhaps it might be an apology from someone in upper level management, because the last message I got was that someone from upper level management was going to reach out to me. That hasn't happened. And so I just opened the letter, and the letter says, "Dear Kelly Price, the vehicle that you recently rented from a Hertz company was scheduled to be returned at 400 Airport Road in Fayetteville, North Carolina on the date indicated. Rented at same address, rental number, date due May 15th, 2021. Then they give the vehicle ID number, license plate number, the state that the plates was issued in, the car is white, it's an SUV. The letter goes on to say that this vehicle is now seriously overdue. Please do not ignore this letter. Pursuant to the terms and conditions of the rental agreement, we hereby demand that our vehicle be immediately returned to the scheduled I'm trying not to laugh while I'm reading this, to the scheduled return location listed above, or to the nearest Hertz company. Note, additional charges will apply if you return it to a location other than the scheduled return location. Failure to return our vehicle as instructed may result in the vehicle having been reported stolen. I was actually told the vehicle was already reported stolen. I was told that last week, by the way, and that there was a warrant for my arrest from Kelly at Hertz. Please note that pursuant to laws in some states, you may already be in violation of state law by failing to return our vehicle. You are also advised that we may attempt to repossess this vehicle without additional notice to you. In addition to any overdue fees and or additional rental charges you have already incurred, and I have, you will be responsible for all repossession expenses that we incur. We will not be responsible for any personal property left in the vehicle that we repossess. You're not responsible for your vehicles or the people that work for you, so I don't expect you to be responsible for the cars or your customers. Let's just be clear. Your immediate attention is necessary to prevent the potential revocation of future rental privileges and or legal action to recover our vehicle. If you've already returned this vehicle and believe this letter has been sent to you in error, we apologize for any inconvenience this has caused you. Please contact us with your return details as we may investigate and resolve this matter as quickly as possible. You mean the 10 different people at the Hertz Corporation that I've already spoken to who told me that they've been in touch with the Fayetteville location? And last week, the 3 different people that told me that they were finally able to go ahead and get the contract closed out. This to me at this point is funny. I thought that what I asked for was really, really simple. I asked for someone from upper level management to reach out to me because I deserve that. I said that I wanted a public apology from Hertz because I deserve that. I wasn't worried about the money. At the end of the day, banks have regulations, credit cards have regulations. I have my receipt from the day that I dropped the car off, and wherever the girl was that works for Hertz, she was not behind the desk that day. No matter what, I'm still being harassed by you guys. Someone called me on Friday, another sister, because that's the only people that have gotten a hold of me. I can be very clear. I just spoke to 3 different Black women. 3. The last one that called me on Friday and offered me her personal cell number. Thank you so much, sister. It's your job. You got to work your job. You have to pay your bills. This is definitely not about you. This is me talking about the fact that we continuously are used to be pit against each other and to cover the behinds of the ignorant a-holes that sit at the top of the food chain in these corporations. So I'm not bothered by this letter. I'm laughing at it. Whoever made the mistake of sending this, thank you so much. This letter is called evidence. It's called evidence. Because today's what, June 1st? And again, like I said, you record all your calls, but so do I. Thank you so much for providing me with this most amazing piece of evidence. My attorney is going to have a ball with it, and I am going to laugh my behind off. You never know how your blessings are coming. I'm gonna stop complaining about it. Maybe this is God's way of having me earn a really, really huge check that I didn't even have to go sing for or do a movie or do a television show for. Ain't he good? Won't he do it? Yes, he will. Thank you, dummy at Hertz, that sent this letter. I appreciate you so much. Management, because the last message I got.
Well, I guess she told him how she felt on that one, y'all. I missed that whole little experience. I wonder if that one made it to the Breakfast Club and they little celebrity news, because I missed that whole experience. So thank you for sharing that one, Summer Passion one. Yeah, I mean, who knows, because people have the ability, it hurts, that's a giant, that's a big company. So like I said, from my experience, and I watch how these celebrities move in these streets, like I notice when they get to being vocal and speaking out about things, you just start seeing crazy things happening, things that weren't happening before. And it make you say, like you side-eyed, you wondering, wow, they were doing just fine. And then when they pissed this person off, now it seemed like, things ain't looking so good for them. Like that's real. If you ever see stuff like that and you question it, like I said, don't think that it's just you, or maybe it's a coincidence. They say ain't no such thing as coincidence. There's something there with that. Mike Hill said, Holly weird. I mean, right. Right. I have no desire. They can keep all of that. Title, Kelly Price goes off on agent. Listen, Summer said, for some reason, I can't copy the link. He said, there's another. This was ongoing. Title, Kelly Price goes off on rental agent. Like that. Yeah, I miss it. I hope that everything kind of got worked out because, like I said, like how many of us have rented a vehicle? When you rent a vehicle, there's like paperwork, you take the key bag. Don't think they got to check. They got to go. First of all, they check in the car, making sure it still look good, making sure the gas is in there. Like, it's a process. You signing off on stuff. They got their copies. You got your copies. So to me, that don't seem like something that's hard to prove as far as you returning something. Then you got camera footage, subpoena. If you get a lawyer, basic lawyer can just subpoena for the camera. Okay, sis, when'd you turn? Oh, I turned the car back on Tuesday, June 2nd. You pull the camera footage, you're going to see the person walking up in there. You seeing who was working. Like, it's really not that deep, y'all. It's really not that deep. If I'm sitting here at 11:17 at night running down to you how you can just clear something like this up, they have the abilities to do the same thing. So again, it goes back to, who was it that she, quote unquote, pissed off that said, you know what, we got her number, we coming for her? Because that's what that's the energy it gives me, like somebody just having it out for her because she didn't do something or what they wanted her to do. So it's just like, okay, well, fine, we finna embarrass you, we finna do this, this, and that. And I'm happy to see that she spoke up for herself. And it's like, with this industry, when you choose to speak up for yourself, you're really taking a chance. When you speak up for yourself, you taking a chance when you do that. And she did that. So for all of this to transpire, this is the type of year she had, from that incident to, I guess, over the summer, her getting sick, to, okay, her ending up in the hospital, to now today we're on here talking about Kelly Price and where could she be? Have you seen her? Like, that's just a lot for one person. We got big, the sister saying, hey, I haven't talked to her. We hearing nothing from the boyfriend / husband. When Nicole said, it's the husband, we ain't hearing nothing from him. Like, this is too much. Like, this is too much. Like, something has to give. Somebody has to start speaking. I'm still hopeful that some of the larger platforms start speaking on it. They're working on it, trying to get some information, trying to maybe line up some interviews to speak with the sister. Like I said, we got a lot of, what we got, some big content creators out there who have the connects to be able to bring on family members of people, celebrities, onto their shows, to get to even have phone conversations with them. Like, I want to see these type of things happening. Like I said, I live in Atlanta, Georgia, so I'm here where a lot of people live. Some of these big YouTubers, and I'm thinking that I have in mind, they live right here. So there is the ability for them to get some information to speak on some things. It's just a matter of when, if, why, like, what's the deal? I don't understand. I don't understand. Summer says she insisted Whitney was not high. What you talking about, when she passed away? Let me see. Yeah, you said back when she passed away. I didn't see that one, Summer. I don't think I seen anything where she spoke out about Whitney, but Whitney was in the industry, and I'm just one of those people who I side-eye the industry anytime something happens, from DMX on down, on up to Tupac, Nipsey Hussle, like all of that stuff. I'm just one of those people that just side-eyed all of that type of stuff. And I just feel that when we hear about people no longer being with us, it's just more to it. That's just me, so I'm just one of those when it's like, when I hear about somebody not being with us or some suspect stuff happening, I just start thinking like, I wonder what's that about, and I start listening to just different people who's done some research on some things, and I kind of start going from there. And then, now with me been more present on YouTube, I get on here and start talking about things, because the purpose of this channel is like, I want to bring awareness to things. You know, it's not a platform about with bashing. I don't come on here to talk about and bash anybody. I come out here to bring attention and awareness to things that are going on, in particular things that impact our communities. And I want it to be a place where people can feel comfortable with having open dialogue about things, kind of like a safe place to talk about things, to express concerns. I'm here. I'm all for that. That's why I definitely encourage people, please interact on the live, drop a comment, let me know if there are some topics you'd like for me to cover, because what I'll do, I'll go into the lab, I'll do my research and try to, come up with the content so I can bring it out to you if I feel like this is something that the people may want to hear. I even have, things out there that I feel like fall in the category of what I feel people should hear. Check out my videos, things pertaining to like Louisiana, the weather, questionable things, suspect things, all of those things. So I definitely encourage you to, if you don't catch my lives, so like I said, I'm kind of impromptu with those, but they're out there. Go back and still check them out, because I come on here to bring enlightenment to things. And a lot of times I come on to bring enlightenment to things in a way that I don't hear other people doing it. I'm not a surface type person. I've always been like a deep thinker, a critical thinker. So I come on here to kind of bring that to you. So therefore, because a lot of times when I get to talking with people on the live, people are dropping gems, sharing information with me, and it's getting me to think deeper, and it's getting them to do the same. And we just get to kind of collaborating and putting out information, and it just creates for a great live. Summer says, yes, the night before Whitney passed, she was on stage with Kelly Price. Wow. Yeah. And she said Whitney wasn't high. Like, I always felt like Whitney's little, situation was suspect, all the way down to Ray J being on the scene. And then if y'all been following, Wendy Williams is not doing well either. So I think I did my last video on her. So if you haven't checked out that video, check that one out too. But from what I'm hearing, even with as far as the update on that, I'm hearing that she's pretty much not going to be going back to her show. Nick Cannon is going to take that slot. Yeah. Remember when she had kind of went downhill before Nick Cannon temporarily set in? Well, from what I'm hearing, instead of him doing like a temporary sit-in type situation, like he's going to have his own show. So I don't know if it's going to be like the whole Nick Cannon show. I don't know. But from what I'm hearing, her show isn't going to be coming back on. Basically, she's been struggling with both drugs and alcohol, street drugs plus prescription drugs. So allegedly, she's suffering from all of that, and that her street drug habit that she had that the world knew her to have kicked, allegedly that wasn't the case, and that's still been something she'd been battling with. So now it's just like everything, things are all kind of spiraling out of control, and I'm hearing about all this stuff coming out. And that also, from what I've heard, one of her staff members is the one who actually had called, I guess, 911 or called the police or whatever, that resulted in her getting put into the treatment facility. Because from what I've heard right now, she's in almost like a rehab, getting treatment. Also, from what I've heard, allegedly she had been suicidal, and she had made a couple of attempts on her life. So as I said in my live, as I talked about her, that video's out there. I said I felt like she needed to sit down. It was time for her to hang it up and retire and take care of herself, because as they say, there is a time and a season for everything. And I feel like the time or the season for the Wendy Williams show has come and gone, and that's okay. It's okay, but it's time for her to focus on her and her healing Summer Passion said media and his sister, she was high. Kelly said no, also media, not splice her words. KP is about the truth. I believe that. My kiddo says Nick Cannon is no Wendy Williams. I agree. When he sat in that last time for her, I wouldn't watch it. I never really watched Wendy Williams show like that anyway. But when Nick Cannon, I ain't never really rocked with him. That I personally find him to be very corny. And then with him, he just does the absolute most. So I know his show Wild 'N Out does very well. Nick Cannon, he is popular, but he's not my cup of tea, and that's okay. it is okay. But no, he's no Wendy Williams. But from my understanding, he's going to take her slot. And from my understanding, it's not going to be like him sitting in on her show. It's going to be like him having his own show. So you guys kind of listen out for that. But that's just some things that I've learned just from, as I researched and been following the story with Wendy Williams. That's that. My kiddo says that street drug habit never went away. That's what they say. That's what they say, my kiddo. They say it never went away. I don't know. So I'm just throwing out allegedly, but they say it never went away. And when I was hearing about stuff like that, it just made me just wonder if the habits or her struggles contributed any to the demise of her marriage, as far as, I don't know what type of role, how Kevin, her ex-husband rolled as far as what he dipped and dabbled in. But I know recently, people felt like he shaded her, where I guess his birthday just passed and he just talked about like he felt the need to kind of throw out there that he was kind of how he was healthy and how, he said something and, people kind of felt like he was shading Wendy. Like he talked about, how he was thankful, like how he got his health and how pretty much money ain't everything. You need to have your health. Your health is like wealth or something like that. So people felt like he was low key shading, how they say you kick a person when they down. But when he did that comment, the way I looked at it, Wendy has a platform and y'all know she will find any moment to shade the hell out of Kevin and say whatever, rightfully so. So I felt like that was just kind of an opportunity for him to kind of get her back and say something to him. But as I said in my last video about Wendy, I did talk about some things that Kevin got going on, some business ventures that he and his chicken head girlfriend Sharina got going on. But I really went in on that one. So if you didn't check that one out, because I had a lot to say about that one. Nick Cannon's a cornball. Yes, I agree. My kiss I will not be watching as I hold my breath. No, listen, I won't be either, but that's what I heard. So you guys kind of just, listen out. If you guys hear it again, just remember that's, what I mentioned that supposedly she's not going to be coming back. And Nick Cannon's going to have a show and I'm guessing since his name is coming up, I guess it's going to be with whoever the same network or whoever her show's through. They're going to, Nick's show is going to be there, I'm guessing in that time slot or whatever. But whatever, I feel like, it's more important for Wendy to take care of herself. My kid said her marriage and the passing of her mother. It was a lot. Like, I'm glad, her brother, you remember last year, her and her brother were kind of going back and forth, following the death of the mom, because, they kind of had a difference in opinion as far as with Wendy's role in, I guess, her presence when it came to the passing, I guess, the going away service for the mom and all that. So they kind of was doing that tit for tat thing. But her brother has been around as of late, giving her fans, people updates, speaking positivity. So, I mean, that's what family's for. Just like with our girl Kelly Price, how her sister's out there. That's what your family or loved ones do. That's why I don't know with that dusty man that Kelly calling her calling her husband or boyfriend. That's the part that has me confused. Why he's not doing that, because that's what people who care do. They speak out. Crickets. Like I said, many of us probably even know he even existed. He ain't said not a word, but it be like that, as we can see. Yeah. So I'm hoping, Wendy, she gets better. She put the focus back on her, stop focusing on her past life. She has her son, but let Kevin go. Because also from what I've heard, like she allegedly like haven't really like the divorce was really hard for her, which I've never experienced going through a divorce. I am married of almost 17 years, so I don't know what that feels like. But I can only imagine, like, with being with someone, just a divorce, no matter how long you've been married to that person. But I would imagine the longer you were with that person, the harder it would be to end that, to break that, because you've built this life with this person. So from what I've heard, like, Wendy is struggling with the whole, I guess, moving on, going about the rest of her life without him, because this is like, she was with him, like half her adult life, or she was with him for a while, and then they have a child, like with an adult son. So that's hard. And then with her being a public figure, being on a large platform, people, it's, we think about the things that we go through, but imagine if the things that we know that we go through, if that was on a large platform, how that would feel. That would kick it up to a whole nother level that many of us probably can't even imagine. But someone like Wendy Williams, because she's Wendy Williams, anything that goes on in her life, it makes the national news. Like, it's like that. So it's like, that's just a life that I just wouldn't want. And so with that being said, with her life and all these changes, these life changes that are happening, because life changes that she's going through, these are the changes that, people go through changes every day, regardless on what social economic status you're on. But everybody do not have to have their changes broadcasted to the world. Like, many of us go through different things, and a lot of people don't even know about it, unless you let them know about it. But someone like Wendy, she don't have control over, okay, if somebody's going to know about it, because she's Wendy Williams. Oh, somebody going to find out. And then next thing you know, the world knows. So from what I'm hearing, the whole ending of her marriage, that has been a struggle for her. She's still struggling with that. She's by herself. She don't have a boyfriend, how Kevin has, Sharina. Wendy don't have anybody. She got staff, that's staff. Them ain't no friends and people that's on payroll. They getting paid to say they like you, when you really think about it. Like, these people don't really care like that. I mean, they can say they do, but at the end of the day, they gonna tell you what they feel like you want to hear, whether they like you or not, or can't stand you, because they know you signing a check. So I don't really put that in the category as, okay, them her friends. I don't. I feel like right now, the only one really that's genuine, that she really got, is really her brother. That's family. Everybody else, is suspect to me. I mean, that's how I look at it. So I wish her the best. I hope she get the healing she needs. She get counseling. She gets treatment. She get all that she needs. So therefore, she can live out the rest of her days mentally, emotionally, physically, psychologically, like this, so she has total all around health, in all aspects of her life, as we all should be able to. Wendy's not exempt. And I've been hearing, like, a lot of people aren't even sympathetic to what's going on with her, because, she's built this career, this platform of just doing the most and talking about people. So now people are like, oh, well, she had it coming. It's her turn. Or look what she was saying about Nene. Like, and I get all that. That's why they say you have to be careful with how you treat people, because one day you can be on the other side. And Wendy spent her career just doing the absolute most. That was her claim to fame. So now today, as she's going through things, a lot of people aren't really all that sympathetic with what she's going through, because they feel like, okay, well, look at the things that she said on her platform. And she said it without just having a care in the world. So now that she's going through things, people are like, well, I'm not going to show any sympathy for her, because look what she got on her platform and said about me. Or regular people are just thinking about, okay, well, look what she said about such and such, So people aren't, they're just like, oh, okay, whatever. Like, and I'm sure things like that is going through Wendy's head. You know, she know how she built her career. So she know that she's not necessarily in a position that people are just going to be just coming and just surrounding themselves around her and just giving her all these warm hugs and kisses and well wishes, because she already knows what she's done to people. We all know what we've done to people. So I'm sure those are internal things that she's dealing with as well. Like, oh my God, look what I know. Look, I see what I've done to other people. It's no take backs. Like, all you can do is apologize. But it's it's like it's done. You know, she said some things from the time she was on the radio all the way to when she's been on national television. We all have heard Wendy say some things where you're like, really, Wendy? Wow. But that was her claim to fame. And you notice, like, even with content creators who have those same type of reputations, when you hear about negative things in their lives and things don't seem to be going that well, those are the type of comments that I see that people say about them, like, oh, well, they had it coming, or that's what they get, because it's almost like other people look for those people to fail and to fall because they think about the things that you said or did to other people. So then when you're showing any signs of being in trouble, people get to gloating on that type of stuff. It's just, I don't know if it's just like a human nature thing. I don't know. You know, I'm personally not like one of those people, but I am a realist to where I recognize to where when a person have a certain energy towards somebody, I am keen enough to understand, well, if that person who's down on their luck wasn't kind of treating people the best, then it makes sense for people to not just be trying to rally around them to lift them. Like what they say, you got to treat people how you want to be treated, because what they say, what goes around comes around. And many may argue that may be what's going on, you know, with somebody like Wendy. But as we've seen with our girl Kelly Price, all we've seen, I've never heard anything negative about Kelly, or even things centered around drama, until, you know, Summer Passion One just hit me with the situation where Hurts. Like, Kelly is just one of those people, those celebrities that just have stayed in her lane, handled her business, lived a low-key life, didn't bother nobody. Like, she was one of those type of people. And then for us to now be talking about, or me asking a question, hey, where's Kelly? Have you seen her? You know, it's just, I'm just kind of messed up by the whole thing. But I do thank you all for joining. Please like, share, subscribe, make a comment, hit the notification bell. I'm going to continue to follow the story, listen out for any updates. I know tonight, like I said, I called this the Missing Person Live. Like, we talked about a lot. I might have to go and change up the title of the video, but I don't want to lose focus that the attention is on our girl Kelly, and we want to find her. We want her to come home safely. And I hope the right people, whoever needs to see this live, whoever needs to see this playback, I hope that who needs to see this sees this. We are out here looking and questioning things, looking for Kelly, questioning things. Like, we want to know. We haven't forgot about you, Kelly. To her family, we haven't forgotten. My kiddo too. Thank you for being here. And I know this was a long one. I've never done a live this long. I don't think I have. I don't be talking this long. I know I can talk, but I don't go on this long. But like, people had stuff to say. I wanted everybody to say what they wanted to say. And we just gotta, what they say, there's strength in numbers. So if we all just keep Kelly in our prayers, pray that she come home. We pray for answers. We pray for discernment. We pray for all of that. Then I have faith that we will get that. And right now, the prayer is that what we learn is that she truly is okay. And we learn that from the sister now, not from CNN, TMZ. No, we learn from the sister. Kelly is good. That's what we're going off of. Regardless of what the news is, I feel like it needs to come from her family, in particular, her sister. That's who I'm looking to hear from. I just hope that the news is going to be positive, but whatever the news is, I want to hear it from her family, her sister, her children. So Thank you again. Please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, drop a comment. Let me know if you do have any other information. If there's anything you'd like for me to touch on with other videos. But until the next broadcast, peace.